Look here. When exactly did Robin fall in love with Andi? I mean, one could argue that Jeremy, the signs were there, even if he never used the L word. I mean, he was like a lovesick puppy after the whole fiasco of going off on Andi for her scandalous reputation, sleeping with the janitor and whatnot. And he was just determined to get back on her good side. And he looked rather pathetic as a result. He was putting up millions of dollars to help get her friends out of jail and calling in favors and doing this, that, and the third. So you could say, Jeremy, look, it was clear as day that he was truly into Andi. And that is fair. But I will say that the rationale behind him saying, oh, you wouldn't be the Andrea Barnes I fell in love with if you could, in response to her saying, well, the reason I couldn't kiss you is because it's not that I wasn't feeling prompted in our chemistry. Oh, it's just that technically I'm still dating Jordan, and even though Penelope has turned him against me, I couldn't betray him. Bull crap, because first of all, you aren't technically dating Jordan. You technically broke up with Jordan because of Gary and his ultimatum. So technically speaking, even if you were to kiss Robin right then and there, you would have been cheating on Gary and not Jordan. And I went back to season 3. I haven't gone back to that season in, I don't want to say years, but I'll say that it's probably been close to a year. Yeah, I haven't gone back to that season visually, by actually going back to view parts of it. But I have mentioned it several times in passing in other videos. I'm pretty sure I have. But yeah, I just wanted to go to about three episodes, just 3 episodes of season 3 after Robin had been introduced. Because at that time, whenever Andi and Gary got into it, Andi would go rushing to Robin. Now, granted, the reason I'm bringing this up is because it contradicts what Robin said in last week's episode about how, oh, well, yeah, if you could betray Jordan, then I wouldn't have fallen in. I mean, you're not the same woman I fell in love with. But that's the opposite of how Robin and Andi first started interacting with each other outside of the professional setting. One could argue, now that I think about it, Robin did to Andi what Tony did to Danny in season 6B. Someone who was, did their homework on the woman that they wanted to pursue. And despite the woman at the time being in a relationship, because remember, Danny had just asked Preston to start a relationship the day prior. Not a week, not months, the day prior. So Danny was technically in a relationship that she initiated when Tony first came out of nowhere. And Robin was pursuing Andi, who was engaged at the time. She was engaged to Gary. This was after the pop-up wedding that she didn't want to get married at that moment, but she was still engaged to Gary. And plus, they were living together at her apartment. Now, the thing about that is, Robin was the one who was constantly trying to get Andi to, well, betray the ring. It's like, despite the ring, I still am attracted to you. I still want to be with you. And every time he would, notice that Andi was kind of off her game because of personal relationship stuff, he would kind of press even harder, but in a very subtle way. And then it got to the point where he just agreed to be Andi's confidant. Hey, anytime you need to talk about, your no good fiance, your loving fiance, feel free to come talk to me. He was staying at one of the fancy hotels in town, so anytime Andi was in a bind, she would go meet at the bar with him or something. And then it escalated to the point where she went up to his room a couple of times. But things got to the point where, similar to last week's episode, when she got swept up in the moment and they would get close or they would be on the verge of kissing, she would go, no, actually, I still have this ring, or I need to go see Gary. She would all of a sudden have morals, even though sometimes, and I remember if you've been on the channel long enough, maybe you can remember when I used to do the drunk Andi impressions, because there was kind of like an era in the show where she was just drunk. I mean, she was giving Danny a run for her money in terms of the sister was the most overuse of substance, in her case, alcohol. She would just be at the bar drunk. She would go upstairs drunk because she was pissed off with Gary, but she would always tease this man. Like every time they were about to lock lips or hop on the bed, no, I can't. Oh, and then she would just leave. I remember one time she had gone so far as to like unbutton her blouse or whatever, and then she's like, no, I gotta go. And nothing has changed. So it got to the point where Robin noticed like, oh, you took your ring off. Yeah, we're not engaged anymore. Then they had the threesome and everything. So Robin saying that even if Andi kissed him in that moment and betrayed Jordan, which makes no sense at all, then you wouldn't be the Andi I fell in love with. That is bull crap. That is bull crap. That is bull crap. Because what's crazy to me is I'm glad that the episode addressed their chemistry, because say what you will, Austin and KJ's chemistry in the few scenes they've shared together since he's come back this season, far beyond anything KJ and the actor that plays the second Jordan had throughout the entirety of season 7. And they were really trying to sell us on, hey, these two are in love, even though Andi won't say it and yada, yada, yada. I just didn't buy it. It just gave off a try-hard kind of relationship or romance. I didn't buy it. And then when it came to Gary, Gary's just been written to be a completely different character. So it's like, unless Andi is attracted to this creepy stalkerness stuff, which honestly I feel like she is, I'm not really buying any chemistry there. It's just like, look, you are mine. That's pretty much what it is. But when it comes to Robin, that's the most natural chemistry, I think. And I'm talking about throughout the entirety of the show. I think it's the most natural looking relationship that, or pairing that Andi has been involved with. Paris, Gary, Jordan, whoever. It's always been Robin. So I just don't like the fact that yet again we are at this point where Robin is seemingly trying to get Gary or get Andi from Gary, because it feels like if you look at certain elements, they are definitely rehashing parts of the show we saw back in season 3. So in some ways, you can almost guess exactly how things are going to play out. But I don't know. I just think that the whole falling in love Andi thing was a bit much. And the fact that Andi is just lying and teasing, it shows she hasn't changed. And when you really think about it, that's why she's found herself in the situation she's in now, withholding certain information and lying. But hey, it is what it is. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you remember season 3 at all, do you agree with me in that Andi is doing to Robin now what she did after he was first introduced? Basically teasing him and, oh, I got morals, but morals didn't stop you from running into his arms, and morals didn't stop you from feeling on his shoulders and chest and then looking up to him and then initiating the kiss but then stopping. So bull crap, Andi. Stop the cap. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.